Try the newest, cheapest, and fastest delivery na express service. Introducing Moto Express PH. You can now leave your shopping and delivery needs with us without much exposure and interaction to people outside. Mapa-grocery items, medicines, foods, and other essentials and halal-certified products, kami na ang mamimili at maghahatid sa'yo. Sinisigurado na ligtas, in good and quality condition ang mga pabili o orders sa delivery service na iyong i-avail. Para sa maayos at mabilis na delivery at order mo, ipamoto mo na. Download Moto Express PH app through Google Play that is built to deliver beyond your expectation. Tara na dito sa Moto Express. Dahil moto mo to.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, once again, we have this program, the Dear Sister Khadijah, which is aired every Friday at 5 to 7 p.m. Our program would tackle some letters sent to us from a sister, of which we are going to share our opinion with regards to, in connection with the PD 1083. Alhamdulillah, we are joined today with fellow sisters in Islam whose our advocacy is on ending the violence against Muslim women as well as their children. To start with, let's welcome Sister Mariam.
Assalamualaikum rahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To our dear President Ismail Abaya Maraja, GPTV 168, and to our Director Zeno Martinez, and the young Assistant Young Director Carvin Ras, and to our dear Sharia lawyer, Attorney Nor Hernandez, and to our dear Sister Khadijah viewers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the show. This program is not suitable for our very young audience and parental guidance is advised. Please stay with us as we talk about the story of our letter sender and me and Sister Elinida Des and Sister Aisha Kish. We share some thoughts based on our opinion and to the basis of our PD 1083. Please, sisters, please listen and stay with us, and please send comments below, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Sister Mariam. Before we proceed to the reading of the letters, I would like to inform our audience that we as Muslims are governed not only by the Civil Code of the Philippines, but by Muslim Code of the Philippines. And we call this, one of the laws that we have is the PD 1083. It is a decree to ordain and promulgate a code recognizing the system of Filipino Muslim laws, codifying Muslim personal laws, and providing for its administration and for other purposes. Now, the objective of this program is to educate our Muslim community, particularly the Balik Islam, and specifically for the Muslim women who are experiencing marital issues. And we hope that our opinions that we are going to share would have an impact on their lives. Of course, if, for example, there is really a need for you, our dear Muslim sisters, to seek for legal advice, we would be happy to share with you that we have Sharia lawyers who could really attend to your issues, of which there would be a process that would be followed in order to put a solution to whatever you are experiencing now. Now, our letter sender this afternoon is a revert to Islam. And more details of this will be read to us by our sister Aisha. Sister Aisha?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh po, my dear brothers and sisters. And good evening po sa ating mga lahat na mga taga-subaybay po sa ating programa. Today po, I am going to read about the letter from our sister Zainab. Um, Dear Sister Khadijah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am a revert to Islam for 13 years, Alhamdulillah. I am writing to you my story, hoping to get some opinion with regards to issues that I believe have bothered me and even greatly affected my performance at work. I was married in civil rights in 1992, but was not registered in PSA. After several years of union, that marriage turned sour and he left with no financial support, even to the children. Alhamdulillah, I was able to support, feed, and educate my children with the minimal salary I received from working here in Saudi. My exposure to Muslims and their practices made me embrace Islam, Alhamdulillah. I attended several Islamic activities and meet fellow Muslims. I came to know a guy, a revert to Islam, who made me feel again as a special person, and later a marriage in Islamic rite happened sometime in 2016. I was confident with my decision back then since we both knew from the ulama and the da'iyah that a marriage is allowed to Muslims, even to revert to Islam, even if one has a prior marriage with non-Muslim provided that there was no more communication for many years. My marriage to my Muslim husband is not registered here in Saudi. My question is this marriage with a Muslim solemnized in Islamic rite valid? Your sister in faith, Zainab. Ayun po yung ating letter po for today.
Thank you for the courage that you have written your story, Sister Zainab. We would like to listen to Sister Mariam on what is the possible answer to her query on is her marriage in Islamic rite, was it valid? What do you think, Sister Mariam?
Okay, first and of all, Sister Dinah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to you. Since that you are married in the civil right, your marriage will be under the civil code of the Philippines, not in the Islamic rights. It's still in the civil code of the Philippines. And if you have some plan to make a decision to marry again, first you must be resolved your first marriage to have the final divorce or annulment here in the Philippines before you jump into another issue or another marriage. But since that your marriage contract is not registered here in the PSA, I think siguro, Sister Elinida, they need to ask permission o pwede ba magpa-late register yung marriage contract nila. As far as I know, based on my opinion, pwede lang yun ipa-register as a late registration sa PSA. Pag gusto ni Sister na ipa-register. But since on the story, based on Sister Aisha, gusto niya magpakasal ulit? I think
No po.
I'm right.
He got married po. She got married again on 2016 po. She got married to a revert Muslim.
Get
Muslim.
married in the Muslim right?
Yes po, 2016.
Yes. She contracted another marriage with a revert to Islam, Sister Mariam. It was because while she was working abroad in Saudi, her exposure to Muslim, of course, with several activities, he met this man, and later their love, shall we say, blossom. And considering also the shall we say, advice of the ulama or the da'i in those in the area where they are known of, that they can marry despite of their previous marriage.
Okay.
So
Uh, as I read here, no, in the PD 1083, Article 15, the applications of the marriage in the Section 2, in case again to our dear sister, in case
Mama,
marriage between Muslim and non-Muslim solemnized not in accordance with the Muslim law, this code of the Philippines shall apply. So whether you like it or not, sister, your marriage is applicable in the civil code of the Philippines, not in the Muslim uh, law.
yes, it is true, Sister Zainab. Um, as we see it, there is really complicated issue that is involved here. Since you were married prior to you becoming a Muslim, and as what Sister Mariam mentioned, that your situation is under the Civil Code of the Philippines. So what
Yeah.
happened is that subsequent marriage that you contracted even in abroad is not really valid. So, as we know, Sister Mariam and Sister Aisha, this has been the case of many of our Muslim brothers and sisters abroad.
Mm.
They contracted subsequent marriages despite the facts that there are still marriages way back, I mean, in the Philippines, which are not yet dissolved. Yes,
Yes,
Sister
sister.
Aisha.
And to our dear viewers also know, before we finish or we need to jump into another contract, please no see to it that your marriage will be finished or must be void here in the Philippines. You must apply the annulment and the any legalities in our civil code kasi ang hirap yan pag hindi mo yan matatapos at oobra ka ulit ng another issue. So your marriage, since that you are married in another country, is not applicable here in the Philippines. Right,
Um,
And
Sister
then
Renida?
the problem would
Yes, the
is,
second marriage is not
the
available.
problem would be, Sister Mariam and Sister Aisha, when the time come, her husband would have the knowledge of this marriage she
yes.
has in other country with a Muslim one, man, this uh, might be, shall we say, given, or this might be raised or to a court, diba? Especially
Oo.
their marriage is not yet dissolved. So, Sister Zainab, as what our Sister Mariam had advised, maybe you could also take some steps like registering for your marriage with your husband. So, how do we call such process, Sister Mariam? Was it late late
Late
registration?
registration, yes, might be. And regarding with the issue, I don't think so that the our our Sharia will cater about the issue because she married in another country, not in the Philippines. And this code that we have is only available in the Philippines lang, sister.
And also our PD 1083 cater most of the cases involving the Muslims. So
Yes.
um, really, you even if, for example, you consider yourself as a Muslim, but by the law of the Philippines, the Civil Code of the Philippines, you are still bound by this law. So you cannot just say that you are now a Muslim and you have this right to contract any marriage. And we know, and this has been a fact already, especially to many of those Muslims that we have, might be many of our Balik Islam who don't have enough knowledge of the law, of the Sharia law, or the Civil Code of the Philippines, or again, shall we say, they have been victimized by those people who are into religious practices or teachings, but giving advice not in line with our law. In our Civil Code of the Philippines, particularly the Article 3, ignorance to the law excuses no one. So, our dear sisters, especially those who are planning to contract marriage, and you are very well aware of your situation that you have not dissolved your previous marriage, please, as much as possible, do something that would not really put you at risk. And it's not an excuse that you are already a Muslim and you would use that concept in Islam na you can be married again. Again, we are still bound by our civil law that which this would really put us into question. So we have to be very careful. That's why, Alhamdulillah, with this program of ours, there is this education that we can disseminate, we could share to our Muslim sisters on the right process that they have to take so that they would not be um, putting themselves into a scenario where they could not go, where there is no more way out. It's really not easy, sister. Of course, we understand we have we have this what we call human needs when we are, for example, away from our husband, or that we have been separated from our husband. We have this physical need, but if we are going to just give importance to that one aspect in our lives without considering what would be the consequences that would happen to us, please, we have to take note that we are liable. We are under the Civil Code of the Philippines, even if we have changed our religious status into Islam. Yes, anything we can add, sisters?
I would like to ask Sister Aisha if you have some comment regarding with this issue of our sister Zainab.
Um, about po sa, about her marriage po. Uh, she write she write it here that her previous marriage po, from the civil law of the Philippines is not registered, and then she was telling us that they don't have a communication with she doesn't have a communication with her previous husband po. So she was married in
Okay.
1992. Then she remarried in Islamic law on 2016. So I was thinking po yung about po dun sa napag-aralan din po natin before na kapag po 'di ba po kapag po you can remarry. Halimbawa po, if after 7 years, you try to find the that person, but still there is there's no sign that he's alive or something. So it means it can be considered that he is already gone. Tama po ba?
Um,
But if it is um kung meron po siyang mga proof na before she got married, is hinanap po niya muna yung dati niyang husband. Am I correct po?
Yes, that
Uh,
is one of the.
Sister,
Yes, Sister
this
Mariam.
refers to the PD 1083 under the Article 52, divorce by fast. No, the court may, upon petitions of the wife, decree divorce by fast or any of the following ground: neglect or failure of the husband provide support for the family for at least 6 consecutive months, and the conviction of the husband by the final judgment sentencing him to imprisonment for at least 1 year. Failure of the husband to perform 6 months without reasonable cause his marital obligation in accordance with this code. And the reason of the section D is impotency of the husband. I would like to refer to the section A of our Article 52. Neglect or failure of the husband to provide support of the family, least 6 consecutive months. So, how many years na silang hindi nag-support yung asawa niya? Matagal na mo.
She didn't indicate here kung ilang taon po silang hindi na walang communication.
But this issue, sister, is applicable only to our Muslim.
For the Muslims only po.
Yes.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay, thank you for sharing on that, sister.
This, sister, not only to the civil case, kasi pag civil case, medyo hindi pa tayo sanay sa ganyang usapan. But in our Muslim law, we must educate our sisters based on our opinion that this divorce by fast is applicable to us. If si lalaki hindi na nag-support sa atin, so we can file divorce or we can find it in the jurisdiction of a Sharia circuit court. We can file for that.
Okay, what Sister Aisha had mentioned earlier is only, we'd like to give emphasis on this, that this is, yes, this is true. This can be applied to both Muslim who are married in an Islamic way. Unfortunately, Sister Zainab, though you are thinking that you might be using this one against your previous husband, but this is not really applicable to you since you had contracted marriage in a civil manner, which is not covered in our PD 1083. So for the education of our Muslim brothers and sisters, specifically our Balik Islam Muslim sisters, we would like again to reiterate that our provisions or the articles stipulated in PD 1083 are applicable only to marriages which are solemnized under in Islamic rites. So, Sister Zainab, this is really, shall we say, not a good news to you, but we hope that your story would shed light to our Muslim community that with regards to marriage, contracting marriage with, for example, a Muslim is not that easy. We have to know what are these provisions, what are these articles that are really governing our daily activities or what we are going to plan. Since marriage in Islam is what we call governed by this PD 1083, we have to consider that whatever elements, whatever stipulations are stated there are only applicable or can be used only for those marriages which are under Islamic law. If, for example, you contracted the marriage without any prior marriage to that Muslim man you meet in Saudi, then there would be no problem. But as you have mentioned from your in your letter that you had a previous marriage, that's really a very complicated issue. So what we can just suggest is that seek legal advice from our Sharia lawyers.
Yeah.
Yes. And to our sisters, to our young sisters na gusto magpakasal o may plano na o may balak na to get married, no? I would like to inform them that they must should know the man if the man has a capacity to marry. That is the number one. Kasi at the end of the day, no, Sister Linidan, Sister Aisha, pag hindi, pag walang kapasidad si lalaki na mag-asawa sa babae, ano ibubuhay niya? At the end of the day, ikaw na babae, ikaw talaga mag-work out for the relationship, di ba?
Exactly po.
But yes, before we start or before you want to get into the marriage, please should know the man has a capacity to marry you. Right, Sister Linida?
Yeah. So we are also going to see some issues with regards to what happened to Sister Zainab. If we've noticed that even that marriage that took place in Saudi was not registered,
Mhm.
no?
Opo.
Ang hirap yan.
Yes po. At saka po,
So we have
Whether you like it or not, be in the civil code, sister. That is not belong to the Islamic
yes,
right. Oo.
hindi po siya
And,
dumaan sa tamang proseso.
Oo, and secondly, sa ibang bansa yung marriage niya and our law applicable only in the Philippines. Even na mag-asawa ka dito dito in the Philippines, if you are get married again, you will be ground for
After sunan,
bigamy. Right, sister?
ako po,
This ground, the second marriage is ground to you to a bigamy.
so, ako po, may advice to Sister Zainab po. Sana po, bago po kayo nagpakasal, kahit po nasa ibang bansa po kayo, sana po, yung katulad po isa na pag-aralan natin po, na, kami din po, hindi din po namin malalaman if hindi din po namin natutunan. Sa mga sisters po na halimbawa po ay kasal po kayo in civil sa Pilipinas, then you are converted Muslim. First of all, kapag po halimbawa po talagang totally wala na po kayong contact with your previous marriage, i-try nyo po muna na katulad po palathala po kayo sa dyaryo na ini-inform nyo na hinahanap nyo po yung previous husband nyo. And then, ano nga po yung Ate Ellen, Ate Mariam, na after ilang, kailangan po may proof po, doon talagang hinanap po niya after several years. And then, saka pa lang po siya, kumbaga po, kapag po talagang hindi po lumitaw yung previous husband niya, saka pa lang po siya maaring magpakasal po. Tama po ba ako?
Okay, so that is as if presumed dead na yung husband niya. Of course, there is a specific year to that, no, na pwede may consider is really presumed dead.
Yes.
How many years was it, Sister Mariam?
7 po.
7 years.
And
But of course,
regarding okay, go ahead, sister.
Of course, just like what is mentioned by Sister Aisha, that there must be that you have done something as if to really know where your husband is. And that could be used.
Sister Linida, for
Yes.
example, I will give some example to our sister. Na if you are married in Islamic rights, sister, kasal ka, and then the man refuse to support you, di ba? If you are married in Islamic rights and the husband refuse you to support you, you can file these cases to our Sharia circuit court, right, sister?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you
Regarding
for
for
that.
the of the marriage.
Yeah, and then let's discuss also, sisters. When, for example, the marriage that took place is in Islamic way, and then there are no obstacles, shall we say? Um, how can one use PD 1083 with regards to the subsequent marriages? Can we can we read section
Yes,
3 in the
yes,
subsequent
that is
marriage?
so good. If you Yes, that is so good example, Sister Elenida, and I would like to share this article to us, no? Na
Okay,
if
can you read
balak mo
Article
mag-asawa,
27?
yes, in
The
27,
subsequent
in
marriages
section
by a
3,
husband.
yes,
That
the
if there
section 3
are
subsequent
no,
marriages.
yes,
Ako
please.
po ate.
And to our sister must know this article 27 by a husband. No, notwithstanding the rule of Islamic law permitting a Muslim to have more than one wife, pag gusto mag-asawa ng more than one wife, unless he can deal with them with equal companionship and just treatment and enjoyed by Islamic law and only exceptional cases. So, kailangan patas. Equally, ma-divide yung time, ma-divide yung lahat ng mga pangangailangan ng dalawang asawa. So, to
What do we
our
mean
brothers na
by
gusto
what do we mean by
mag-asawa,
sister?
mag-asawa ng
Yes.
dalawa, they must know na dapat kaya niya ibigay equally yung mga pangangailangan ng kanyang mga asawa.
Yes. So it's very clear in this Article 27, the subsequent marriage by a husband, that if now, notwithstanding the rule of Islamic permitting a Muslim to have more than one wife, but one wife unless he can deal with them with equal companionship and just treatment. Now, what about this exceptional cases, Sister Mariam? What do we consider as exceptional cases?
I would like to give example. Exceptional cases, if, for example, the first wife cannot, they don't have any children, and the second wife has one or two or more children. So these exceptional cases may apply because he must support to the second wife because they have children, and the first wife has no. So mas mabuti bigyan niya ng, or it must be nabibigyan niya ng more support yung pangalawang asawa niya. So these will cases may apply, not equally na. Kasi sa pangalawang asawa niya, they have children and sa una wala. So he must support more and the second wife, Sister Elenita.
And then I would like to add also, what we consider here as the exceptional cases, meaning a Muslim man can contract subsequent marriage when, for example, he is a military. Of course, he will be assigned in places really far from his family. So, to this Article 27 of RPD 1083 would would allow him to contract subsequent marriage. So again, this is on exceptional cases. So military or those what other uh, employment that we could consider under these exceptional cases aside from being a military might be those who are the seafarer, di ba?
Seafarer, yes.
Yeah. Okay. For example, Sister Aisha and Sister Mariam, let's assume that uh, the marriage between Sister Zainab and her husband, was there no there's no problem. Let's say they are both Muslims. They don't have any. They have not contracted prior marriages, and the man again contracted another marriage. Is it possible for him to have to just left Sister Zainab and contract another marriage? What do you think, sisters? Let's say,
Yes, sister. Yes, sister, but due to the respect, no, he must inform the wife that he must go to another marriages. But if not, he can contracted marriages as long he can afford to support equally for the both wife.
yeah. So we would like to again remind our viewers that number one, the person or the husband must have that capacity to support his wife, not only financially, but of course, as what we have mentioned under Article 27, which was read to us, so that there would be with proper if we follow this in total, there would be no problem that would happen in a marriage. What about this Article
Yes.
28, Sister Aisha? Can you please read
Yes
Article
po.
28, subsequent
Um,
marriages by widow?
by widow, no widow shall contract a subsequent marriage unless she has observed an ida of 4 months and 10 days counted from the date of the death of her husband. If at that time the widow is pregnant, she may remarry within a reasonable time after delivery. In such case, she shall produce the corresponding death certificate po.
What if, for example, in this Article 28, subsequent marriages by the widow, no widow shall contract subsequent marriage unless she has observed an Ida for 4 months and 10 days. What if someone really is had an intention to marry her, but the Ida is only on the third month pa lang. So what would happen? What would be the effect, sister? If, for example, that she is just on her third month of Ida, can
Hmm.
she can she uh, contract a marriage? What do you
Absolutely
think?
no, but
Yes. Yeah.
she's not finished the time of Ida period. It must be complete. He can he can make a subsequent marriage after the Ida period. No more,
Yes.
no less. It must be finished the
Though
period. Mm.
though the husband is dead, but she has to follow that 4 months and 10 days Ida. So even if there's somebody that who is really willing to marry her, but she has to complete the 4 months and 10 days. But of
Hindi.
course, for
So there's
example,
question.
this,
What if sister na ano lang, hindi kumpleto, kulang siya ng 1 day if she can
1 day na lang po.
one day na lang
oh, one
kulang,
day na lang.
Hindi pa rin po, di ba? Kasi kailangan kompleto.
um,
O sige, itulong mo lang muna.
that
One
is
day
Conditional.
na
why
lang, conditional.
it is really important to know our code of Muslim personal law.
Hmm.
We cannot just say that we it's only one day. Anyway, it's only one day. No, we
Oh,
must
one day
abide by
na lang.
our code.
No.
So you have to wait for
We should really
the
follow
right
our
time.
rules.
Anyway, there's just 24 hours more to wait. If you were able to wait for those 3 or 4 months, just wait for another 24 hours. And
Yeah.
what
Yes.
if again? Yes, sister. It so happened that the Muslim is pregnant. Can she contract a marriage, subsequent marriage?
Mm,
No, sister.
Di,
no po.
again,
No,
hindi
if
pa
she
pwede?
if she proved that she's already pregnant, she must wait the time of after the delivery of the baby.
Mm.
And of course, in addition to a reasonable time that she is also physically ready, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
But he cannot complete
And
the marriages if he kung bago ka pa lang nakapanganak or buntis ka, you cannot perform the duty as a wife to your husband. Diba? It must be
of course, we would like to remind our sisters out there or our listeners that there must be some proof that the husband is really dead. You have to
Mm.
produce, what are they going to produce?
Death
The
certificate.
the
death
proof of the
cert.
death certificate is must be
Yeah,
presented.
there must be some proof with this corresponding death certificate. What if, sister, for a divorcee,
For a
what does
divorce,
our uh, PD 1083
for a
talks about
divorcee,
for the divorcee? Can we read, Sister Aisha, for Article 29, subsequent marriages by divorcee? Let's
apo,
have paragraph 1 first.
by divorcee, paragraph 1, no woman shall contract a subsequent marriage unless she has observed an ida of 3 months courses counted from the date of divorce. However, if she is pregnant at the time of the divorce, she may remarry only after delivery po. And then, sa
Yes.
paragraph 2 po, should a repudiated woman and her husband reconcile during her ida, he shall have a better right to take her back without need of a new marriage contract. And for paragraph 3, where it is indubitable that the marriage has not been consummated when the divorce was effected, no ida shall be required.
Okay, thank you for giving our audience an idea on what this Article 29, a subsequent marriage by the divorcee. We would like to stress on, for example, this paragraph number 1. No woman shall contract a subsequent marriage unless she has observed an ida of 3 monthly courses counted from the date of divorce. So please take note that the divorce by court has been ruled already, and that after that there must be an observation of an ida for 3 months courses. And again, Sister Mariam, is if
Okay.
that Muslima is
And
pregnant,
we would like to emphasize, Sister
yes,
Lida, we must emphasize to our dear sisters no na nakikinig na why we need to finish the IDA period of 90 days upon the divorce. Because hindi natin alam na nabuntis pala
You're
tayo, di
pregnant
ba?
po. Yes po.
Kailangan natin antayin yung final result after in 90 days if pregnant ba tayo o nabuntis ba tayo o hindi.
Yes.
Kasi first month old, hindi pa yan ma-detect ng pregnancy test natin if pregnant tayo. So we will wait the 90 days period to confirm it that if pregnant or not.
what about for number 2 or the paragraph 2 of this Article 29, subsequent marriage by divorcee? What should our viewers have to to remember.
Women and her husband.
Should a repudiated woman so and her husband reconcile, meaning they
Magka,
they they
magkakabalikan.
agreed to,
We shall have a better
or there is
reputation.
a reconciliation. Should there be a new marriage for them?
Um, he shall have a better
Sister
right to take her
Linida.
back without need of a new marriage contract po.
Okay, it's clear, huh? That there is a without need of new marriage contract. But alhamdulillah, if this happens to the couple, of course, uh, the reconciliation has uh, that binds them again. So no need to contract a new marriage.
Yes.
And what if, sister, that on this paragraph 3 of Article 29, divorce, subsequent marriage by divorcee, what should our viewers have to remember?
But it is indubitable that the marriage has not been consummated when the divorce was affected. No ida shall be required. It
So
means
it's
po,
clear that the marriage has not been consummated when the divorce was affected. No ida shall be required. Can you add something for this paragraph number 3, Sister Mariam, with regards to uh, Article 29, subsequent marriage by the divorcee? Sister Mariam?
Yeah, the statement in the Article 29, Section 3, again, we will repeat this one, where it is indubitable that the marriage has not been consummated when the divorce was affected. No ida shall be required. So, for example, si babae, hindi natapos ang ida, nagkabalikan sila. So, there is no need na pakasalan sa ulit. Because they
No ida shall be
they
required
cannot
for
finish
paragraph
90
3.
days. Yes, sister.
Um, can we also discuss, sisters, those marriages of which what are the different, can we mention the
Regarding
different?
to Sister Linida, I would like to ask if Sister Sinab has a children.
Yeah,
yes po, meron po.
We will ask Sister Sinab if yung mga anak niya, kanino ba nakapangalan yung mga birth certificate, di ba? If she has a children to the first husband, they must require the birth certificate of the children and the husband if he accept the children or not. And anong ginagamit niya na apelyido sa mga anak niya.
of course,
Diba?
the concern was not mentioned by Sister Zainab on her letter, but I presume Sister Mariam, Sister Aisha, since there was no problem on those years, I guess the children were really named after the husband. Only that after a few years of marriage, their marriage turned sour and then he left them, even without giving support to the children.
That's why she went abroad po to so she can support their children.
Yeah. So that mostly that's the case, especially to our fellow sisters who got abroad to work. But Alhamdulillah, though they have some problems with regards to their marriages, but they found Islam in other
Yes.
countries.
Alhamdulillah. Uh,
Alhamdulillah. But before we proceed, sisters, do can we read some messages from our viewers?
Um,
As of now, I cannot see the comment
yes po.
right now. But I would like to
There
inform.
po, Sister Zia Daria. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh to everyone. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh po kay Sister Zia. Kababayan po daw ninyo siya, Ate Mariam. And yeah, salam watching from Tagaytay. I didn't see
Yes,
who was the
salam. And I would like also to let our viewers know that if we have some problem or issue about our marriage, our divorce, and betrothal or breach of contract, to marry dower, disposition and distribution of property upon divorce, maintenance and support and consolatory gift, mutua, and restitutions of marital rights. We have the Sharia Circuit Court to assist us, Sister Linida. And we have also Attorney Nor Hernandez for some legal advice to us. He is willing to listen to us and give legal advice for free. Don't hesitate to call us or message us any problem to our sisters, or may nakilala ba tayo na nangangailangan ng ang ating tulong regarding on the legal matters on this legal matters about our PD 1083. We are here to give some support to them and advice to them.
inshallah.
Yeah, thank you for that information, Sister Maria. So thank you, Sister Aisha. Now, can we give idea to our dear viewers on what are these different type of divorce?
Sabi maybe. Ate, excuse me po.
Can we read Sister Aisha for Article 47, 48,
Article
49,
47.
50, 51, and 52?
Alright po. For Article 47, divorce by ila, where a husband makes a vow to abstain from any carnal relations, ila, with his wife and keeps such ila for a period of not less than 4 months, she may be granted a decree of divorce by the court after the due notice and hearing. And for the Article 48, the divorce by zihar, where the husband has injuriously assimilated zihar, his wife, to any of his relatives within the prohibited degrees of marriage, they shall mutually refrain from having carnal relation until he shall have performed the prescribed expiation. The wife may ask the court to require her husband to perform the expiationor, to pronounce the regular talak should he fail or refuse to do so without prejudice, tama po ate, to her right of seeking other appropriate remedies. And Article 49, divorce by lian, where the husband accuses his wife in court of adultery, a decree of perpetual divorce may be granted by the court after due hearing and after the parties shall have performed the prescribed acts to implication, lian, yung lian po in Arabic. Article 50, divorce by khul. The wife may, after having offered to return or renounce her dower or to pay any other lawful consideration for her release or khul from the marriage bond, petition the court for divorce. The court shall, in meritorious cases and after fixing the consideration, issue the corresponding decree. And then Article 59, divorce by tafwid. If the husband has delegated tafwid to the wife the right to effect a talaq at the time of the celebration of marriage or thereafter, she may repudiate the marriage, and the repudiation would have the same effects as if it were pronounced pronounced by the husband himself. And then the Article 52, divorce by fasq. The court may, upon petition of the wife, decree a divorce by fasq for any of the following grounds. Paragraph A, neglect or failure of the husband to provide support for the family for at least 6 consecutive months. Paragraph B, conviction of the husband by the final judgment sentencing him to imprisonment
Excuse
for
me.
at least 1 year.
Yes, Sister Aisha, we have Sister Zia. Nagtatanong siya, gaya po ng sinabi na hindi na niya nakita ang unang asawa niya, paano po kung isang babae ay makapag-file ng kaso sa kanya na kung hindi niya alam kung saan siya nakatira?
At nagtatago na siya sa
That is
asawa
the
niya.
one question of Sister Zia. If hindi niya na daw nakita yung unang asawa.
Yun po yung napag-aralan po natin sa unang-una po, na kailangan po ay gumawa po siya ng
Please
mga paraan.
refer to the Article 52. Sister Renida, please proceed to PD 1083, Article 52. To Sister Zia. This is our opinion, Sister Zia, na kung hindi siya natagpuan ng iyong nakita ang unang asawa niya, paano pa kung isang babae ay makapag-file ng kaso sa asawa niya kung hindi niya alam kung
Saan nakatira at nakatago na siya sa asawa niya. So yun nga po, yung kailangan niyo pong gumawa po ng way na talagang hinahanap niyo.
It must be stated here in the Article 52, divorce by fasq. Pwede siya mag-file ng divorce, Sister Zia, kung hindi mo na siya nakita. At least 6 consecutive months. Pwede siya mag-file ng divorce with the ground of Section A, neglect or failure of the husband to provide support of the family at least 6 consecutive months, and the other section must be followed. Sister Zia. Sister Lida, do you have any additional information to?
Sister, she was mentioning that she could not find her husband. She doesn't know the address. Is it right?
Correct
she doesn't
po.
know the address.
Correct po.
Okay. Can you recall there is a provision in PD 1083 of which there is a specific time or a year. What year again was that, Sister Mariam? You have mentioned that earlier.
You must be wait until 7 years, but provided you are presented the death certificate of any one of them.
So there is enough year for you to do something to know where your husband is. So after that 7 years, of course, still you could not find the husband, and then you want to contract subsequent marriage. Make sure, as what our Sister Aisha mentioned earlier in connection to your question, there is what we call some actions that must be from you. you have to do
Initiate.
some, parang you have to exhaust your effort to really determine where is this husband of yours, and then as much as possible, like what there must be some proof that you really tried your best to know where your husband is. Might be, and you're familiar with his relatives. Some um, some relatives could give you or could guide you where the husband is. That could be of help. But if they refuse to give you some information, well, at least on your part, you did your best. And we would like to know also, upon knowing that, for example, your husband is nowhere to be found, what else are you planning to do? Would you contract subsequent marriage, or you are looking for your husband because of for the financial support? Okay, so uh, bef- uh, Sister Aisha mentioned earlier the articles with regards to different types of divorce, and we stop at Article 52, which is divorce by fast.
Task.
Okay, we have several paragraphs that we could share to our sisters. We shall just focus on this divorce by fast. Of course, we know that there are for those again. Can Sister Zia is messaging us again. Paano po
Um,
kung alam ng relatives at need ng financial support para
para sa
sa
um, para sa anak
paano
nila.
po
So,
kung alam ng relatives
at need ng
yung need.
financial support para sa anak nila. So,
With that case, Sister Zia, if this, for example, is that the relatives know about the
mhm.
need for support, I believe that they have also do something to inform the relatives of the need of the children for support.
Mm.
But of course, if for example he is a Muslim and your marriage is solemnized in Islamic way, you have the right to elevate your issue to the court for the support of your children.
She has a reply po ate that pero hindi po tumanggi ang relatives ibigay ang info sa lalaki. Ibig sabihin po hindi po tumanggi yung relatives na ibigay yung information ng lalaki.
So meaning binigyan sila ng information o siya ng
Yes po.
information.
Mhm.
Okay,
Parang
so
ganun.
as if this is happening, could be you can contact the person, you can contact the
Mhm.
husband, and uh, tell him of again remind him of his right, because
Mm.
as a Muslim, it is the right of the father to meet the needs of the family,
Oh,
especially if he has children. Tumanggi
ate,
po.
hindi daw po pala tumanggi daw po pala na magbigay ng information yung relative. Tumanggi daw po na ibigay yung
Of course,
information ng lalaki.
we could not do anything with that. That's their right, no? But
Mm.
sad to say that they don't have the let's shall we say the parang humanitarian feeling towards their relatives.
Mm.
So, ayun, nangyari. Um, we are not yet through with the divorce for Ila, and we are on this Article 52, divorce by fast. We have here several elements that must be met before the divorce by fast
Mhm.
be considered. Can you please read, Sister Mariam, for Article 52, divorce by fast?
Yes,
And what is
because
this?
I have some internet problem. I am sorry. Yes, in Article 1083, Article 52, divorce by fast, the court may, upon petition of the wife, decree a divorce by fast on of the following grounds: neglect or failure of a husband to provide support for the family for at least 6 consecutive months. In the section B, convictions of the husband by final judgment sentencing him to imprisonment for at least 1 year. In section C, failure of the husband to perform 6 months without reasonable cause his marital obligation in accordance with this code. And the section D, impotency of the husband. And the section E, insanity or affections of the husband with an incurable disease. For example, may cancer siya. So it must be stated na excuse sa dito, which would make a continuance of the marriage relationship injuries to the family. And the section F, usual cruelty of the husband as defined under the next succeeding article. And the section G is any or other causes recognized under the Muslim law to the dissolutions of the marriage by fast, either the instance of the wife of the proper wali. So sister, pwede siya mag-file dito ng um, divorce by fast kasi stated na hindi siya nagbibigay ng support sa kanyang mga anak. And this issue will be under the jurisdictions of our designated court. In Article 155, jurisdiction in the section F maintains and support and consolatory gift matwa. So dito siya pupunta sa Sharia Circuit Court for that issue, for that matter regarding upon the support of the children, Sister Zia.
Okay, Sister Zia, with this Article 52, divorce by fast, paragraph A, the neglect or failure of the husband to provide support for the family for at least 6 consecutive months. This can't be used. And then
Okay,
Sister
before
Zia has a follow-up question. Can you please read, Sister Aisha? What's the
yes,
follow-up
sister.
question of Sister Zia?
I'm sorry, ate, hindi ko na po makita yung ano niya, yung
Yes,
tanong niya.
the difference between the Sharia court and the district court
May pa,
and
the
Sharia
difference
circuit courts. So I would like
circuit
to,
Sharia.
yes, I would like to read Article 143, the
Very
original
good.
jurisdictions of our district court. Again, no, kung saan pupunta tayo if we have some issue regarding in this section 143, original jurisdiction of the district court shall have exclusive original jurisdiction over all cases involving custody, guardianship, legitimacy, paternity, and filiation arising under and many more. So again, we have section 82E. And
Okay.
section C, petition for the declarations, absence, and death, and the cancellations or correction of entries in the Muslim registers, right in the title on the book 6 of 2 circuit of the 2 this code. And the section D, all action arising from customary contracts in which parties are Muslim if they have not specified which law shall govern their relations. And section E, all petition on mandamus, prohibition, injunction, certiorari, habeas corpus, and all other auxiliary rights and processes in aid of its affiliate jurisdiction. And Section
Basta
2,
po, ilan gaano po katagal ang
currently with
consent.
civil court, Sharia circuit shall have original jurisdictions over, and the Sharia district court may handle these following cases. The Sharia circuit court shall have exclusive original jurisdiction over Section 1, all cases involving offense, defense, and punished under this code. And the Section 2, all civil action and proceeding between parties who are Muslim or have been married in accordance with Article 13 involving dispute relating with marriage, divorce recognized under this code, betrothal or breach of contract to marry, customary dower or mahar, disposition and distributions of the property upon divorce, and maintenance and support and custody, consolatory gift of mutua, and G is restitutions of marital rights. And the Section 3, all cases involve disputes relative communal properties like ancestral, articraft, cemetery, and all other issue about.
Okay, thank you for giving an emphasis on the difference between the Sharia district courts with this, what is Sharia circuit court. I would like to share to sisters Zia and the rest of our viewers that
Ay,
if, for
naanak ka na.
example, there is a petition for the custody, the proper court that has jurisdiction over this is the Sharia district court. So if for guardianship, again, this is for the Sharia district court. So I would like to read again on this paragraph 1, Article 143, the original jurisdiction of the Sharia district court. Letter A, the custody, the guardianship, legitimacy, paternity, filiation arising under this code. So for example, there is the petition for the declaration of absence. Kung halimbawa, yung husband mo ay you were not able really to know where he is now. So that means you have to file for the petition for the declaration of absence. It must be in the Sharia district court. So if the husband is presumed dead, or for the declaration of absence and death, it is the jurisdiction of the Sharia district court. Now, for example, there are some cancellations to be made or corrections of entries in the Muslim registries mentioned in the title 6 of the book 2. So again, it's the Sharia district court has the jurisdiction for the cancellation or correction of entries in the Muslim registries. And we have Sister Mariam. I would like to read to Sister Z and to our viewers that under Article 143, we have this letter B. All cases involving disposition, distribution, settlement of the estate of deceased Muslims, probate of wills, issuance of letters of administration or appointment of administrators or executors regardless of the nature or the aggregate value of the property. So if in case upon the death of the Muslim, there are properties to be disposed, to be distributed, or to be settled, it is under the jurisdiction of the Sharia district court. And like what have been mentioned by Sister Mariam on letter D, if there is what we call customary contracts in which the parties are Muslims, they have not specified which law shall govern their relation. Okay, for the Sharia circuit court, what are these petitions that can be raised to Sharia circuit courts? Could you please read this? This is on Article 155. Sister Aisha, please read.
Article 155 Jurisdiction. The Sharia circuit courts shall have exclusive original jurisdiction over paragraph 1 all cases involving offenses defined and punished under this code. Paragraph 2 all civil actions and proceedings between parties who are Muslims or have been married to accordance with Article 13 involving disputes relating to paragraph A, marriage. B, divorce recognized under this code. C, betrothal or breach of contract to marry. Letter D, customary dower, the mahar. B, E, disposition and distribution to property upon divorce. Letter F, maintenance and support and consolatory gifts or mut'ah. And G, restitution of marital rights.
Okay, thank you for reading this article 155, Sister Aisha.
And
Um,
sister, I would like also to ask our viewer to like and subscribe and share this dear sister Khadijah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, our YouTube channel is also named Sister Aisha. What's our YouTube
Our
channel?
YouTube channel is titled is the Survivor Muslimas. You can subscribe and please like all the programs on our channel and please share it to others. Inshallah.
Yes.
Okay,
And I
we hope
would
that
like also
you.
to Yes, sister, and I would like also to remind all of our viewers, sisters, na mayroon na dinadaanan ng mga konting problema, we can they can send messages to our advocacy for the violation against Muslim women and their children. They can send their uh, any issue that they want to ask from us and to our legal advisor, Attorney Nori Hernandez.
Yeah, thank you for the reminders, Sister Aisha, as well as Sister Mariam. Again, I would like to read through the Sharia, the jurisdiction of Sharia circuit courts. We'd like to emphasize again, if this petition with regards to marriage, to divorce, to betrothal or breach of contract to marry, the customary doer, the disposition and distribution of property upon divorce, the maintenance and support and consolatory gifts, and the restitution of marital rights, it should be uh, in the Sharia circuit court. Sister Mariam, there was once a question, Sister Mariam. What if it so happened that after the divorce, the wife have noticed that she is already pregnant? What advice can we give to her after the divorce has been decided in the court, and then um, she noticed, and by medical examination, she is pregnant? To which court do
Uh,
you think?
she can go, Sister Linida, in the jurisdiction of our Sharia Circuit Court. She can file petition of her marriage, and she can file also support for her for the baby, for the children. I
Yeah.
mean, for the
Okay.
upcoming.
Here, yes, Sister Mariam.
Yes.
So, our dear viewers, yes.
To the viewers that na may problema ng ganyan, no, don't hesitate to go to the Sharia Circuit Court for filing the petition for marriage and for the support for the children.
Yeah. So if in case this happens that after the divorce has been decreed by the court and the wife found out that she is pregnant, she can file a petition for restitution of marital rights. Restitution of marital rights, and this is under the jurisdiction of the Sharia Circuit Court.
In circuit court.
And what about for the maintenance and support, Sister Mariam? Should this be in the
Yes,
under the
must
jurisdiction
be
of
in the
Sharia?
Sharia circuit. Yes. Yes, sister. Dapat i-familiar natin kung saan tayo pupunta. If we have some problem about marriage, don't forget Sharia court, circuit court. This belong to
And
the
again, what
circuit court.
about for
Marriage before.
the disposition of estate of the deceased? Where can our, shall we say, where can we raise this concern or case? Is it in the Sharia Circuit Court or the Sharia District Court
No, in the district
for
court,
the
she will go to
disposition?
Sharia court. Uh-uh.
It's
Yes.
for it's under the jurisdiction of the Sharia District Board.
District court. Yeah. Any
Anything we
questions
can
sa
add?
mga sisters na? We still have 30 minutes left na mag-cater ng mga tanong nila.
By the way, Assalamu alaikum to our fellow Muslim brothers and sisters in the Central Visayas, particularly to our sisters who are in Toledo, Sister Aisha Noor, Oy, Sister Nurjana, Sister Rowena, Brother Oy of Toledo. We have a lot of brothers and sisters already in who are residing in Pinamungahan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all of you. For our sisters in Lapu-Lapu City. And Alhamdulillah, we have this opportunity to learn more about our code of the Muslim code, and with this interaction that we have, especially every Friday on this Dear Sister Khadijah program, we hope that you give time to yourself to listen and understand what are our rights, what are our obligations, and what are our duties stipulated in our PD 1083. Let's remember always that our day to day is not only must not only be spent on the religious aspect. We have we have to consider also aspects in different aspects in our lives, of which one must push us to do something, especially to learn about the civil law of the Philippines or the code of Muslim personal law, so that we will not be caught off guard. There are a lot of cases already that is happening in our community, and that is sad to note that there are already subsequent marriages of which are made even by those people whom we call as leaders in our Muslim community. And that is very ironic, or shall we say, very inconsistent. It's because they are teaching us or they are guiding us to become better Muslim, but they themselves are the violators of what the law of the land has also stipulated. We must remember that ignorance to the law excuses no one. So with this program of ours every Friday, and of course this is already, we have already a YouTube channel on this, please disseminate this video, disseminate this information so that we would not be considered as ignorant Muslims. We must find the way to know what are these guide that we have to follow, so that we would be at least even considering the smallest unit in our society, we would be living peacefully. If we know our rights, if we know our duties, if we as parent, if we as husband, or you as husband, or we as a wife, if we know our obligations towards our family, towards our children, towards our partner in life, then we would be really molding a better children at home. And remember, these children are of ours would go outside. Whatever we have molded them within our home, that would also be um, the kind of scenario, or I mean, they would be behaving in the society on how we trained our children at home. But if
Mm.
in case there are problems that are occurring within our family, let's not just resort to something like, for example, in the case of marriages, most marriages in among our Muslim community, Muslim Ummah, that especially as for reverts to Islam, we have prior civil marriages, and we enter Islam without the full knowledge of what are these laws on how we behave. And then because somebody, a religious leader, for example, mentioned to us that we can contract subsequent marriage, but us, for example, we don't know, or we don't really try our best to know if what he has said is correct, then we are putting ourselves to at risk. We should not we should not we should not take chances, dear sisters, our viewers. There are ways of which we can be educated. So as much as possible with our program, continue to listen to our interactions here. Send us your letters to our dear sister Khadijah. We have already a group of sisters who are already in our advocacy, of which our advocacy is ending the violence against Muslim women and their children. Feel free to discuss with us, to bring up your problems with us. Like Sister Aisha could give you some opinion. Sister Mariam is also here. And Sister Khadija also is willing to give her time as well as her opinion. But again, with regards to matters or the legal issues, or what provisions that can be used for this concern of yours, we have Sharia counselor, Attorney Nor Hernandez, to cater to your needs. Yes,
And I
yes,
would
Sister
like
Mariam.
to follow up. I would like to answer the follow-up question of Sister Zia, where saan daw matatagpuan ang Sharia District Court and Sharia Circuit Court. No? Please be guided with me, and I will read the following address of the Sharia District Court. Permanent stations, offices. Sharia District Court shall have the respective permanent stations in the following places. First Sharia District in Hulu Sulu, and the second Sharia District in Bungu Tawi Tawi, the third Sharia District in Zamboanga City, and the fourth Sharia District in Marawi City, and the fifth Sharia District in Cotabato City. This Sharia District Court may hold sessions anywhere within the respective district, and the provinces, cities, and municipalities concerned shall provide such court and adequate court offices, supplies, and equipment in accordance with the provisions of judiciary law. Again, I will read again that the permanent station offices of our Sharia District Court shall be found in Sharia District Hulusulu, second Sharia District in Bungu Tawi Tawi, and Sharia District Zamboanga City, fourth Sharia District in Marawi City, and the fifth Sharia District in Cotabato City. And for our Sharia circuit court places, we can find it here in a circuit court, Sharia circuit court, in the province of Sulu, in the province of Tawi-Tawi, they can find it the same. Then in the province of Basilan, Zamboanga del Norte, and Zamboanga del Sur, and the cities of Dipulog, Pagadian, and Zamboanga. The 12 province of Lanao del Norte, Lanao del Sur, and the city of Iligan and Marawi. The 15 in the province of Maguindanao, North Cotabato, and Sultan Kudarat, and the city of Cotabato. The territorial jurisdictions of each Sharia circuit shall have fixed by the Supreme Court on the basis of geographical contiguity and municipalities and cities concerned and their Muslim population.
Alhamdulillah, we would
everyone.
like to
Assalamualaikum,
acknowledge
attorney. Welcome
the
to our
presence
show.
of our Sharia counselor, Noor Hernandez. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Sharia counselor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man istabbi sunnati ila yawmiddin. Thank you for accepting and joining here in your program, and I am very happy that Sister Mariam Koder is expressively answering the inquiries of Sister Dia about the Sharia courts, the location and the geographical locations of those Sharia courts. I think we need to understand also that there is distinction between Sharia District Court and Sharia Circuit Court. There are cases that being filed separately in these courts. Diba? Can we elaborate that further? Kapag ba District Court, what are those cases that are being filed in District Courts?
For cases under the Sharia District Court, Sharia Counselor norm, these are on the custody, guardianship, legitimacy, paternity, and filiation. Another is that, for example, there are for the disposition, distribution, and settlement of the estate of the deceased Muslims. This can be or under the jurisdiction of the Sharia District Courts.
Right. So if a Muslim died, the petition for the disposition, distribution, and settlement, or otherwise, those things that the estate of a deceased Muslim can be filed to Sharia District Court. And by the way, if there is any correction in regards to their marriages and any correction or cancellation in regards to their civil status, that can also be filed in Sharia District Court. How about Sharia Circuit Court? O yan, marami nagtatanong sa ipapile yung kanilang mga love life problems. Okay. Si Mariam natawa. Ay, si Aisha, oh. Aisha, konnichiwa. Pambihira, konbanwa ba?
Konbanwa.
Hindi ko na nakikita yung labas. Again, what are the cases being filed in Sharia Circuit Courts so that our viewers will be, educate, in regards to these courts?
For the Sharia Circuit Court, it has the jurisdiction over marriage, divorce recognized under this code, betrothal of breach of contract to marry, the customary dower or the mahar, disposition and distribution of property upon divorce, maintenance and support and consolatory gifts, and the restitution of marital rights.
And all cases involving, di ba, Mariam, all cases involving dispute relative to communal properties. Kay Mariam, tinanong ko yung communal properties na yan. Nasagot ni Mariam na maayos yan. What are the communal properties, Mariam, so that our viewers will understand kung ano yung communal properties natin. That is contemplated in Article 173.
Yes, communal properties like ancestral, articraft, cemetery, and old houses.
Yan. For example, merong there is an old Muslim who owns his private land and there is a cemetery, no? Meron libingan. Namatay na to si Muslim na matanda, and then sabi ng kanyang mga naiwan sa mga tagapagmana niya, gagawin namin tong commercial. Kumbaga, yung ibang tao pwedeng ipalibing doon. So tanong, pwede ba siyang maningil kapag ginawa niya yung bagay na yun? The answer is yes, pwede siyang maningil doon kasi that belongs to them at meron na silang control over the assets. Pwede nilang singilin yun. Pero ang suggestion naman yan, hindi naman talaga sisingilin, di ba? Kung hindi a certain compensation equal to the rights that they were given, that they give para ilibing yung patay. Okay. And by the way, andali lang, parang hindi yata kayo tumatawa ngayon. What are the points of this discussion na pala? 'Di ba? Meron saglit lang ako, tumakas lang ako sa ginagawa ko para makasama kayo discussion ninyo.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for your support, Sharia.
Pagsalitain natin to si Aisha kasi nako Aisha, may kumausap sa akin somebody talk to me about Aisha. Nako Aisha, sabi niya si Aisha parang 16 years old lang daw si Aisha. Nako, sasabihin ko ba pangalan, Len? Diba?
Sabihin mo na, attorney.
Teka muna,
Mariam.
sakit ako, kakagaling ko lang pa yung puso ko.
Parang
Baka sakihin na.
Hindi, kinausap lang naman ako eh.
Pakisabi, anong pangalan?
Kinausap lang naman ako eh. Hindi, may kumausap lang sa akin. Tapos sabi niya, mali ko. Sabi ko, wala akong alam sa buhay ng love life niyan. May kinento lang sa akin, pero it's very... bakit ka ako?
Ayoko po ng love life.
Ayaw nga, sabi ko, bakit? No?
Bakit
nako.
ayaw ko?
Mariam, ano ba?
Tagal niya na wala. Pagbalik niya, blooming siya, Tony.
Kaya nga, ikaw Mariam, parang may umaali-aligid sa paligid Ano bang gagawin natin dyan, Mariam? Patasahan natin kay Mariam. Len, anong gagawin natin doon sa umaaligid kay Aisha?
He has to undergo several tests.
What kind of test? Di ba? Sandali. Di ba? May mga ano yan eh.
Kung ba yun yung muna tatanong?
We will be using PD 1083.
Natatanungin ko siya he has the capacity to marry Aisha.
Yeah, oo. Tsaka may karapatan si Aisha mag-demand ng mahar. Di ba?
I would like to ask him.
Hindi ko po muna tatanungin kung gusto ko mag-asawa or hindi.
Huwag ka na muna magsalita. Kami na magsasalita.
Yan. Kami muna.
Di ba kami muna eh. Baka umuo ka lang.
Capacity to marry.
Ay, hindi na po ako oo.
Hindi ka pwedeng umuo na kasi.
Hindi ko na po salitang oo.
Dadaan ko na kay Mariam. Mariam, tingnan mo na bank record niyan. Len, i-compute mo na kung kaya niyang suportahan si Aisha.
Yes.
Tsaka isa pa. Hindi naman natin basta-basta ganun-ganun na lang, di ba? Papayagan si Aisha under certain conditions guided by under our law. Diba? Our laws. Kasi tandaan nila na si Aisha is a very special member natin sa ating advocacy because si Sister Aisha is no longer Filipino, na naturalized na siya sa Japan. And that is, Aisha, kausapin mo nga sila sa hapon, baka akala nila nagbibiro. Batiin mo nga sila. Batiin mo nga.
Aisha desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Ayan At meron pa kaming isa pang ano tawag dito? Import. Si Mariam, ito ang business manager namin. Mariam, batiin mo nga sila. Doon sa salitang, mga ba yun, Mariam? Ilongga.
Yung hapon sa mga taga-Bacolod. Thank you sa salamat sa ilang paglantaw sa ato nga show.
What about yung product mo, Mariam? I-post mo na.
Unsa
ba? We have a new product ato.
Asan na ba?
Yeah, napadala ko na kanina lang.
Thank you so much. May utang tayo kay Aisha, kailangan magbayad tayo bukas. Len, can you talk to them in your native language? In your foreign language ba? Native language pala. Sige, eto si Len. Nakita ko yung post dito, may may apo no? Congratulations Len, nagka-apo ka na pala. Maayos din yan Len. Oh. How do you say that you're happy in Cebuano, Lynn?
Ano po?
Paano mo sila babatiin sa Cebuano?
Mayong gabi sa mga taga Cebu.
Ganun lang.
Karon ato ang programa sa dear Sister Khadijah, ani atong mga kaubang mga balik Islam, si Sharia Councilor Nor Hernandez. Ang usa nato kay igsuon nga naagikan sa Bacolod si Sister Mariam. O kani usa po nato kay igsuon nga naagi ni siya sa Japan pagkakaron si Sister Aisha.
Ayun. Wala ako kasabot. Di ako kasabot. Okay. O balik tayo kay Konnichiwa. Balik tayo kay Aisha. Ano ba nilagay niyo sa mukha niya dito? Mariam, ikaw magaling dyan. Ano ba yung nilalagay?
Hindi po. Ano po yan talaga, attorney? Mapula po talaga ako. Mapula po talaga ako. Hindi po ako maputla, hindi po ako maputi, hindi po ako kayo mangge, mapula po ako.
Nawala na yung discussion. Nawala na yung discussion sa batas eh. No? Ito, tanungin natin si Aisha. Total, ito karapatan niya to sa ilalim ng batas eh. Aisha, kung ikaw ba magmamahal uli? Mawalang galang na. Ito, walang mali siya to ha. Ano bang hinahanap mo sa isang Muslim na lalaki? Okay, ano ba hinahanap mo? Okay, Len. Article 15.
Next question, please. Next question, please.
Anong next question? Sige na. Para yung mga baka akala nung
po sa lalaki is yung napakamaalam, magalang sa babae, marespeto, at bukod sa lahat.
Nagmamano ba sa'yo? Nagmamano, ganon?
Hindi, gusto ko po talaga yung malambing eh. Yung may susurprise ako ng flower.
Layo mo naman, nasa Japan ka. Paano ka naman liligawan ni Sir? Diba? Ikaw naman, no? Ang hirap
may
ko
biyahe
namang...
na po ang Philippine Airlines.
Len, bago mag-asawa.
Bago ka mag-asawa, pwede ako muna mag-intervene sa kanya if he has a capacity to marry.
Wala pa po akong banak eh.
May malaking chance.
Tama. Tsaka merong...
buy you something, what you need. Hindi ka na magtrabaho.
Oo, no?
I cannot work po kasi for your information, my brothers, hindi po ako pwedeng mag-work because I have a RHD or rheumatic heart disease po.
So sa bahay ka lang.
Kailangan may malaking
kailangan ko, minamahal lang ako, iniingatan ako.
May malaking kapasidad na mag-asawa sa'yo. Businessman kaya, Sister Aisha.
Si Len, may sasabihin si Len eh. Okay, tabo. Ayan, malapit na magsalita si Len.
Si Sister Aisha ay napakamahal na namin ito. Daan muna siya sa aming checklist. Using Article 1083. Okay, yung unang-una, yung legal capacity talaga niya. Si Sister Mariam yung magre-research kung gaano ba karami yung, halimbawa, unang-una yung bank account niya.
Totoo yan kasi ang pangit naman mag-asawa sila tapos wala naman silang panggastos o pangkain, di ba? Wala nang pilopilosopo, di ba? Huwag na tayo magbanggit pa ng kung ano-anong pamimolosopo. Nasasabihin natin ang Allah daw nagpapakain. Given na yun eh. Di ba given na yun? Ang tinatanong namin sa'yo, may kakayahan ka bang sumuporta sa pamilya mo? Kung ituturo mo ang ating tagapaglikha, ikaw nga sumagot, Len. Pwede ba, baka makarati ka ni Aisha, di ba? Di ba, Aisha?
I'm a black belter po, taekwondo.
Len, tuloy mo, Len. Len, tuloy mo.
And then, of course, there must be mutual consent between the parties freely given. So,
paano kung may asawa siya, yung lalaki may asawang iba? Len. Marla, malamang.
May asawang iba, there must be equal companionship. Take note, equal companionship. Si Sister Aisha is in Japan.
Nasa Japan.
You must be there. You must be present in Japan.
O kaya niyang pumunta sa Japan regularly.
Attorney?
Yes.
Or regular.
Yes.
Baka naman si Aisha pa ang ano.
Question to Sister
Sige. Sige. Si Dia, sister, assalamualaikum. Batiin niyo si
To
Sister
Sister
Dia.
Zia.
Oh,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, Sister Zia.
Dia, batiin. Paano po kung ang isang Muslim wala po sa Mindanao region? Paano
What
po
if
mag-file?
now?
Kung wala yung Muslim wala sa Mindanao, then you have to talk to your lawyer. You need to have a lawyer so that your lawyer may represent you in court. Diba? And let us accept that the Sharia courts are located in Mindanao. So, alam niyo po, meron epekto kung bakit ko konti lang yung pinapal. There are few cases being filed in Sharia courts because of the geographical location. It's very expensive for Muslim here in Visayas and especially in Luzon to file a case in Sharia courts because it's very expensive. Okay? So in that regard, Sister Sia, you need to have to be represented by counsel. At kausapin niyo po kami, may ginagawa kaming paraan para po mapabilis po 'yan. Okay? Number 3, ijabol kabul. Paano yan, Len? Anong gagawin natin? Tatanungin si Aisha, ikaw ba, Aisha? Tinatanggap mo ba sino ba yung baka naman di pa tapos yung tanong, Aisha. Opo, tinatanggap ko po, moshi-moshi.
Hindi na po ako marunong umoo. At least sa aking mga sa pag-aaral kung mga tanong.
Okay, alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh from Jizan, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for viewing.
Yes. If you have any question, if our viewers they have question, please, kung kaya po namin sagutin, we will answer po.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please.
Yes, that's right.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh to all of you.
Okay, stipulation of customary dower. Len, pag-usapan natin yung Dory.
Please remind that we have our show every Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thank you.
Sokran.
Mayong gabi sa tanan. Salamat sa paglantaw.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yung Len, yung pinaka-last yung stipulation of Dory. We have at least 15 minutes pa para discuss this.
Okay.
Very quick lang. Very quick lang. So, yung stipulation of Dory.
For the payment of the Dory, door. Okay. Subject to the stipulation, this is an Article 21 PD 1083, payment of door. Take note, Sister Aisha. Subject to the stipulation of the parties, the dower may be fully or partially paid before, during, or after the marriage. The property or estate of the husband shall be liable for the unpaid dower or any part thereof.
Yan si Fatima Buesa. Salam, Fatima Buesa. Okay.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Fatima.
Must be given before and after
During,
the marriage.
Before, during, and after.
And
okay, but what
Yes.
constitute mahar ba? Ano ba yung mahar? Sige nga, ikaw, Len, para sa'yo, ano ba yung mahar? Ito ba yung isang pirasong singsing na bibigay lang sa kanya? O ito ba yung babasahan ka lang ng mga Quranic provisions of Quranic ayah? Sa tingin mo, yan acceptable pa ba? Although hindi naman natin sinasabing hindi yan kasama sa ating pananampalataya. Pero in this kind of wedding, halimbawa si Aisha nga ang pakakasalan, alam mo naman, dapat meron niyang capacity. Di ba? Sabi mo kanina, may capacity of the contracting parties. May kakayahan. Paano kung sabihin niya, sabi sa hadith, sabi sa ganito, ayat lang, pwede na may pagkakaiba ba yung panahon noon tsaka panahon ngayon? Di ba?
Yes.
In regards sa marriage, di ba?
Yes.
Sabi nga.
By the provision of Article 20 PD 1083, Councilor Norm, there is a specification of the word. There is the amount or value of the word. So since there is a value or amount, it could be maybe fixed by contracting parties.
Oo.
So take note,
Mariam, magkano ba idodeclare na Dory ni Aisha sa tingin mo? Halimbawa, ganyang kakaganda, mapula yung muka, yung ilong, ang ganda, parang, ewan, kung ano. Maria, magkano?
Ewan ko
Sa
kung
tingin mo
ilang
lang.
target, attorney.
Kung ako dyan, isang sakong
Ewan
saging.
ko kung ilang target ang more than 9 digits siguro.
Oh! Hindi, ganito paliwanag natin. Total, meron pa tayong 10 minutes. Actually, yung mahar is a protection. Di ba, land protection din naman niya sa kababaihan. Lalong-lalo na sa mga napakawalang niya at walang modo, may masasamang hangarin sa mga kababaihan. Eto, mawalang galang po, pasintabi po Tandaan po ninyo, ang mahar, bukod sa religious law na, kasama pa to sa ating batas as part of law of the land. So, yung mga pilosopo na pakakasalan nila, yung isang babae, at o-offeran nila ng, yung bang sabihin na natin, gagamitan nila ng mga ayat nung unang panahon, yung mga hadith nung unang panahon, hindi naman po tayo tumatanggi. Nga lang, sa panahon po ngayon, may pagkakaiba sa panahon po noon. Ngayon po kasi napakaraming bagay tayong dapat isaalang-alang kapag ikinakasal natin ang dalawang partido, lalong-lalo na no, yung kanilang mga sitwasyon. Kung yan dalaga at mangungupahan pa kayo, isip-isipin nyo rin naman kung mangungupahan lang kayo at pagdating ng ilang buwan, wala na kayo ibabayad, saan nyo dadali ng pamilya nyo? Di ho ba? Saan nyo naman din ikukuha ng pagkain yan? Kung napili nyo si Aisha, tinan nyo, Lorna Tolentino yung, tinan mo Len, Lorna ano ba? Lorna, Mariam, ikaw na nga tumingin dyan. Diba?
Ayoko na nga po, maglilib na. Papayag na po sa inyo lahat.
Oh. Diba? May ano diyan di ba may mga sinabi yung rights and obligations of the husband, di ba? Kailangan, di ba, may Article 35, tingnan mo sa Article 35 paragraph.
Talaga may samat.
Diba? Binigay yan, may provision dyan para doon sa mga kung yung conjugal dwelling nila is not in keeping with their social standing. Pinakasalan mo, pinili mo, ganyang kaganda. Pinakasalan mo si Mariam, na alam mo naman na anak mayaman yan. Pagkatapos ititira mo sa squatter, pambihira. Muntik na ako malaglag. Hindi naman katanggap-tanggap yun. Di ba? Linggo-linggo, nagsha-shopping yan sa SM, sa nga ba yun, Bacolod? Di ba? Linggo-linggo. Si Len. Buti na yan si Len, Quaker Oats yan. Pero isang balde namang Quaker Oats naman yan. Di ba? Di ba? Si Aisha. Paano pag sinama niya si baby niya? Di ba? Tinatanggap mo ba ako? May ganito ako, may anak ako, ganito. Sige, tinatanggap kita. Sasagutin mo lahat yan. Bakit ka mo, kung tunay kang lalaki, papakihirapan, tatanggapin mo yung obligasyon na nakaatang doon sa taong yun. Di ba? Tama ba tayo doon? Okay, para magkaroon ng protection. At wag yung kalilimutan meron tayong 7 minutes na lang, 7 minutes. Wag yung kalilimutan. Bawat kasal, yung nagkakasal, may pananagutan po yan sa batas, di ba? Kapag kamali yung kasal nila, ang pwedeng ipataw sa kanila under the specific offense ay illegal solemnization of marriage. Basahin natin kung ano yung sinasabi ng illegal solemnization of marriage, Article 181. Mariam, basahin mo Article 181. Sige, para malaman nila, akala nila walang parusa. Di ba? Sige, basa.
In Article 181, illegal solemnizations of marriage. Any person who shall without authority to solemnize any marriage purportedly under this code or shall do so manner contrary to the provisions thereof shall be punished by imprisonment.
Okay,
or
may imprisonment.
Not less than 2 months but not more than 2 years. Or
Okay.
fine or not less than 200 pesos but more than 2,000 pesos.
Okay, this is a severe warning for those who are performing marriage illegally. Kailangan po yung nagkakasal, ito pasintabi uli kailangan po meron kayong kapasidad, kaalaman, at authority na galing po sa ating gobyerno. Bakit po? Kasi kailangan meron po kayong accountability. Tandaan ninyo, ang relihiyon hindi pwedeng gamitin para labagin ang batas. Okay? Maliwanag yan. Huwag gagamitin ng relihiyon para lalabagin nyo yung batas. Huwag kayong magpapagamit sa mga ganyang pagtuturo. Bakit? Hinahata kayo para sumuway sa batas at the end of the day, pababayaan kayo kapag nagkakaso po kayo. Okay? Olen, ano masasabi mo? Sige, ipakasal na natin si Aisha.
Sundin natin kung ano ang mga nasa batas natin sa civil code o kaya sa ating Code of Muslim Personal Laws of the Philippines. Huwag lalabas because no one is above the law. And
Sige
ignorance
na.
to the law excuses no one.
Alright. O sige, magpaalam na ako sa inyong tatlo ha. Thank you, Len. Thank you, Marian. At arigato gozaimasu kay Aisha. Okay, maasalam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Jazakallah. Thank you for giving your time with us.
Yes, thank you to our viewers. Madamo gid nga salamat sa inyong pag-upod sa amon nga show. Till next time, 5 to 7 p.m. every Friday. Thank you.
And like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Survivor Muslima, as well as this FB channel. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.